Hey guys, what's going on? It's Josh here, PlanBee Native Plants, which if you don't know, is a native plant nursery here in the Lower Mainland, British Columbia. I've been running it for about a year and a half now, so today I just wanted to talk about kind of my experience so far with running it, how it's gone so far, and some of the things I've struggled with over the past year, and also what I've learned as a result. So I started running this nursery around the end of May 2020. It had been something I had been thinking about doing for a while and wanting to do, kind of a dream of mine. But I was really not expecting to be able to do it for quite a while still. And I suddenly got the opportunity to use this piece of land and utilize it to grow and sell plants from. So I was really unprepared, but I decided to just go for it right away. Because, sometimes that's just what you got to do in life. So the timing was really not ideal. By June, a lot of people aren't really looking for plants anymore and have kind of set up their gardens for the year already. And I was really limited on what I could grow or even what I had seeds for at the time. So I think I only grew about 5 species the first year. But because I wasn't able to grow and sell stuff immediately, I really wanted to just get my name out there as someone selling native plants in my area. So I ordered a lot of my plants to start with from a native plant wholesaler. So the first year didn't really go well because I missed a lot of the gardening season and also not a lot of people knew me. But the one thing I think I did accomplish was just spreading word of mouth and getting my business out there for the next year when people were more into gardening. And I would say my second year actually went quite well. I got a lot of experience growing things on a larger scale, and I learned a lot from things that were unsuccessful too, which I'll go over. But it went really well in terms of sales. We quintupled what we made the first year. We had the entire season. It was really exciting to see more people excited about native plants and excited about what I was doing. So, like I said, we only grew around 5 species in that first year because of the timing and everything. Second year, I had stockpiled quite a few seeds for different species, and we went to around 40 species, I think. One of the things I really struggled with this year was growing certain species. A lot of them are quite easy, but a lot of them can be quite tricky, I learned as well. And a lot of my problems stemmed, I think, from soil for certain species, not enjoying what I gave them, as well as overwatering sometimes, and also the heat. I think we all know we had a rough summer here on the Pacific Northwest. And, there's a big difference between what plants can endure when they're in the ground and have that insulation and protection from the soil, and what they can endure when they're baking in the sun in black plastic pots. So that adds a lot of stress to certain species. Like lupine was one of the ones I lost a lot of, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I realized a couple things I think I did wrong with the lupine. I think it could have used some different soil, I should say, and also just more shady conditions, especially in the summer. It really did not appreciate the heat wave, and as a result, I lost tons of them, and it was a lot of wasted energy and effort. Also, a lot of things I experimented with just so I could see them grow and what they were like. Like, this is Salal down here. These ones popped up beginning of this spring. So you can see they're quite slow growing, and I heard they are slow growing, but I wanted to see. And I'm sure the soil for these could be improved quite a bit as well, but yeah, this is how slow they grow. So things like that I realized is not very efficient for me to grow at my size currently when they can be bought for quite cheap from a wholesaler. I'll also show you these guys. You know, native lilies, things in the lily family, Liliaceae, are really popular, but they are so slow growing. And when they grow so slow, they take up a lot of space. These are all Hooker's fairy bells. Prosartes hookeri, I think. But this is all they do in the first year, and they won't really probably do much for at least a few years. Same with things like Camas or Trillium, really all the popular ones. So I'm going to be growing more of these and just starting them in larger amounts, I think. Just so that when they are ready, I have quite a few ready. So that's another thing I kind of learned from this year is don't invest in things that take up a lot of space that might not be very popular or aren't really going to have a good payoff, compared to something you could grow in like a few months that someone's going to buy for probably more or less the same price. Another one I didn't end up actually selling, but I probably will next year now that I know how to make them nicer. This is actually field chickweed. You can see how it's quite yellow there. I actually gave up on growing this for a while. I was, oh my god, it just keeps on dying more and more and getting more yellow. There's no point. So I just stopped caring for it and giving it water. And then it started doing better and getting green. It turns out I was just overwatering it. So, derp. But yeah, that's just a little difference that it really just doesn't want to be watered that much, this chickweed. I also planted some in some of my seed beds, and it's actually doing a lot nicer. I'll show you. So I guess that's the other thing I accomplished this year was planting a bunch of stuff in the ground that I could collect and harvest seeds from, so I could also get into selling seeds. I have around, starlings, invasive. Anyways, I have about 10 species now. I have seed for and I'm able to sell, which is great. I definitely want to get more and more into that as the years come by, and next year is going to be big too, even bigger. But here's the chickweed. You can see how like just lush and beautiful this stuff is compared to the other stuff. I planted this in the ground when it started dying kind of and turning yellow in the pots, and these guys really came back and did just, oh, amazing. I can't wait to actually see them flower next year. But yeah, very nice. And I think this was the one other plant I struggled with. I mean, there were other things too that just didn't grow and stuff like that. And this has died back already for the season. This what is showy milkweed. But I lost quite a few of them too. Don't think they like to be transplanted particularly. So you have to be gentle with that, I think, is one thing. The other thing is watering. It's another thing that really doesn't like to be watered, especially from the top. You want to bottom water them by putting them in like a tray or container with water and just letting them suck it up from the bottom. I found watering them from the top, they just really did not appreciate that. But yeah, those are some of the things I struggled with. You know, I lost a lot of plants, a lot of energy wasted on just repotting things that just died. So now next year I know things that I can do to be a lot more efficient. The one other big hurdle I've dealt with has been kind of a big stress for a while now was finding a new location. I've known since the beginning that they were going to be selling this property eventually once I moved in, so I knew I needed to make the best of it. But I have now successfully found a new location that's even bigger and is going to allow me to expand and do even more of what I want in the future, so I'm really excited about that. So overall, running the nursery for the past year and a half has been really great. I really can't thank the landowner for the land I'm utilizing currently for allowing me to get my start here and do what I've been doing so far. But I've been limited in certain ways, so I'm also really excited to move on to a bigger property where I can expand and do all the things I want to do. So I'm incredibly excited for that and just thankful overall for the experience I've had and being able to learn all these cool things. But anyways, stay tuned. I'm going to have a tour out of the new location in the near future, the greenhouse, and go over some of the things I'm planning to do there. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, guys, take care. Josh. Why am I saying my own name? I'm leaving. Bye.